If they do these 5 things, they don't respect you. There's a silent truth about human behavior. People always reveal how they feel about you, not through their words, but through their patterns. And the hardest lesson most men learn is this: disrespect doesn't always look loud. It's quiet. It hides in tone, in neglect, in jokes that aren't funny. You don't need to beg for respect. You don't need to chase it. But you do need to recognize when it's gone. Because once someone stops respecting you, every interaction becomes a slow erosion of your dignity. The Stoics taught that self-respect is the foundation of peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And that includes the power to decide how much of yourself you'll allow others to step on. So today, we'll explore 5 powerful signs that someone doesn't truly respect you, and the Stoic way to handle it. Because respect, once lost, is rarely spoken but always felt. 1. They constantly test your boundaries. Disrespect doesn't always arrive as an insult. Sometimes it comes as a small favor, a harmless joke, or a tiny request that pushes your limits. When someone respects you, they understand your boundaries. When they don't, they test them, over and over again, just to see how much you'll tolerate. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies here. Waste no time debating how others should treat you. Show them through your firmness what you allow and what you don't. Every time you let something slide that disrespects your time, your values, or your peace, you silently teach them that your boundaries don't matter. So ask yourself, are you teaching others to respect your peace or to walk all over it? 2. They make jokes that cut deep. Some people disguise disrespect as humor. They say something cruel, then follow it with, "Relax, I'm just kidding." But here's the truth. Jokes reveal what people truly think when their guard is down. And Stoicism teaches us to see beyond words, into intention. Seneca said, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." A wise man, too, is content in silence. He doesn't need to use others as a punchline to feel powerful. So when someone jokes about your goals, mocks your appearance, or belittles your efforts, they're not being funny. They're showing you their mask. Never explain your pain to those who use it as entertainment. Because once laughter becomes the tool of disrespect, it's no longer friendship, it's manipulation. So the question is, do they laugh with you or at you? 3. They ignore your words but expect your attention. Respect and attention are reflections of value. If someone listens to you half-heartedly but demands your time, your energy, your presence, that's not connection. That's control. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Those who truly respect you listen when you speak, even if they disagree. But those who don't interrupt, dismiss, or pretend to listen just long enough to talk again. A Stoic doesn't beg to be heard. He speaks once, clearly, calmly, and confidently. And if his words fall on deaf ears, he lets silence speak instead. You owe no one repeated explanations for your truth. So ask yourself, do they value your voice, or do they only value your obedience? 4. They only show up when they need something. This is one of the clearest forms of silent disrespect, conditional presence. They appear when they want something, but disappear when you do. A person who respects you shows up out of care, not convenience. A person who doesn't treats you like an opportunity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others when you do not refer your thoughts to some object of common utility." In other words, don't drain your energy trying to understand people who only take. The Stoic response, detach but don't hate. Be kind but set distance. Help when you can, but never let someone make you feel guilty for saying no. because a man who doesn't know how to say no will eventually be used until there's nothing left of him. So ask yourself, are you surrounded by people who value you or people who use you? 5. They undermine you in subtle ways. This is the most dangerous form of disrespect, the quiet sabotage. They don't insult you directly. They question you, doubt you, make you feel small little by little. They might say things like, "Are you sure you can do that? I mean, it's not really your thing." Or, "I'm just being honest." But behind those words hides envy, insecurity, and subtle hostility. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." If someone constantly drains your confidence instead of building it, you're surrounded by the wrong kind of energy. A Stoic doesn't react to such people. He simply withdraws his energy. Because not everyone deserves access to your presence. Sometimes silence, again, is the loudest boundary. So who around you smiles in your face, but secretly hopes you fail? Disrespect is not just in words, it's in tone, in presence, in energy. The Stoics believe that external things can only harm you if you allow them inside your mind. So your greatest weapon against disrespect isn't anger, it's awareness. When you start noticing these patterns, you stop playing small. You stop tolerating half-respect. You stop giving explanations to people who have already made up their minds about you. A Stoic doesn't demand respect. He commands it through presence, discipline, and silence. He doesn't need to prove himself to anyone, because his calmness already does. So when you notice these signs, don't argue, don't explain. Just withdraw, protect your peace, and let your silence remind them that your respect is earned, not given. This is Stoic true wisdom.